My name is Leela. I am a 27-year-old who is trying to make a design a day for Trump's presidency. When I look at how many days are left, it's a little overwhelming, so we're just going to look at it in 100-day chunks, and we are currently on the second chunk of 100 days, and today is officially the 115th day of Donald Trump's second term, and I'm going to be making a design about things that happened yesterday on the 114th day. So this is what I have found out happened on the 114th day. Not much. That's not true. A lot of stuff happens every day. It's a country with millions of people. But as far as I don't think he said anything crazy. I think everybody's still reeling from this plane thing. In case you missed it, he is on this tour in the Middle East. He's doing a bunch of corrupt stuff that a lot of people, or he's doing a lot of things that people are saying is corrupt. Making deals, making promises, making friends, shaking hands, going to fancy dinners and whatever. One of the things he did was he said it would be stupid not to accept a $400 million plane from a foreign government, which is illegal. So that was what my design yesterday was about, which I filmed, but it was a mess. I think a lot of people are still reeling from that, but I'm going to start my screen recording. One of the main things I had a problem with was that I tried to record my screen, and I did record my screen, but then when I went to put it in my computer software, it didn't like it. But I think I figured it out, so we're going to try again today, see what we can do. The main thing that I find myself focusing on is that a federal judge, it doesn't seem entirely accurate, but basically a federal judge was by the way, this federal judge was appointed by Donald Trump. This is her name, Judge Stephanie Haynes in Pennsylvania. And I could be so wrong about all this. I'm not a politician. I'm not a political speaker. I'm a little artist girly who likes her garden and graphic design and colors and text. So if you want to see what I make, stick around. I don't know what I'm going to make yet. It could be absolute trash. I could give up. I don't know, but I'm kind of sticking to this. This seems important. But at the same time, I was looking through the actual ruling, and she kind of starts out, this is 43 pages. I have not read it all, so forgive me. But it basically is it starts out with saying this is what I'm not doing. Let me be clear what I'm not doing. And then she qualifies what she is doing. Instead, the question that this court, so long as the government provides sufficient notice and due process, which is what everyone's upset about, is you're not allowing due process. Everybody in this country gets due process, blah, blah, blah. She's saying, as long as the government provides sufficient notice and due process, may the president issue a proclamation pursuant of the Alien Enemies Act directing the removal of Venezuelan citizens who are 14 years of age or older, which I find crazy, but this law was written in 1798, so 14 years was basically you better have grandkids, which I find why don't we change that to what it's more modern, 18? It's because imagine a 16-year-old being taken away from their family because even if they are gang affiliated, that's just insane. Or being taken away because the government thinks you're gang affiliated because you're friends with someone and you sent a text once making a joke or something, and then you get deported to an El Salvadorian death camp. That, it's 16. That would be insane. So I feel that needs to change, but who am I? And what she said here too is that what she's not doing, and some of the articles I was looking at were clarifying, part of it is a gang a terrorist organization? Can a gang be considered a terrorist organization? Other judges apparently have said no, but she didn't actually rule on that, so it's kind of confusing. I think what makes law cool is it's up to interpretation, right? Every single judge that gets put in front of gets to make their own decision. And in theory, they're there because they are smart enough and wise enough and educated enough to make the decision. But, people are people, people are people will do things. But anyways, this is kind of what's sticking out to me today. Yeah, because I think the plane stuff is going to keep coming up. I think there's going to be more plane stuff in the future. But this seems kind of low-key, but kind of important because it could open the floodgates in a way, potentially. But also, I'm not really sure that she really did I could be wrong. If somebody's a lawyer who watches this sometime in the future, correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think the Foreign Alien Enemies Act is interesting because I think it was started because of France. And the only other times it's been invoked are in times of war, like actual literal wars, like the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II, when people were like in the US spying, like all the Russian spies, stereotypes, and all the like communism scare, blah, blah, blah. Like that was all like, that's why we have this, not because there is organized crime happening. Like we have organized crime happening in the United States. Like that has been around for forever. Have you ever watched a Western movie? Like, come on, we need to be taking care of our own domestic terrorists, not the foreign ones. Foreign ones too, but I guess. But anyways, so I think it's just interesting, not in a good way. I don't know if like gangs are attacking the United States. Like I think that's part of what this act is all about. Is like these groups that it's supposed to be enacted against are attacking the United States. But gang activity is like gangs attacking other gangs or attacking individuals. It's not like we hate the US and we're trying to worm our way through the government to collapse it from the inside. Like that's not, I don't think, what this Venezuelan gang or these members of this gang are trying to do, but whatever. Yeah, on May 1st, a federal judge in Texas ruled that the invocation was unlawful. So I think it's just all, it's a hot mess. Are we surprised? Are we really surprised? I'm not. Anyways, I did the smart thing, I think. So I've been making designs. Oops, you can't see. I've made a few of them so far. This is a problem because I can't see the full. This is the one from yesterday. I'm not in love with it, first of all. Okay, I don't think I'm like amazing. I don't think I'm really good. I just was like, let's be done with this. And we were done with it. And I'm not mad about it, right? I'm not mad about it. But I'm not used to not painting my designs, so that's part of it. And I've been rambling for so long and not working on this design. So let's do that, shall we? So I don't really know what I want to do today, but I have this in, I think, the Instagram ratios. I have the text that I've been using a lot, and I created like a little template for myself, so this should hopefully save me some time in the future. I'm not sure if I want to do this. I also was watching this guy speak about corruption, and that's also fun. Corruption's a fun word, but I kind of like this, I just like the way that looks. I think that's cool. Alien Enemies Act, you know, A-E-A. And I also think she wrote in here, and I can't highlight it, so long as the government provides sufficient notice and due process. Sufficient notice and due process. In this, she also gives them a 21-day notice. Like, you have to give them 21 days notice and explain why in their native language, which I think is really good. 21 days is not a lot, but it's almost a full month, and I think that sort of, if it's used properly, in my opinion, seems like it would be good, but I just have a feeling it won't be used properly, given the way that, yeah, here we go. When the court conducts that inquiry, the court holds that a 21 days notice and a, quote, opportunity to be heard is a sufficient period of time to actually allow to seek habeas relief in the proper venue before such removal. So she's basically saying, like, yeah, the president can do this Alien Enemies Act, but if you're going to do it, you have to do these other things, which kind of, I think, defeats the purpose of why Trump wanted to invoke this, is that he could just, like, get you out of here. It's like, pause, actually, let's hear him out. Let's make sure they understand what's going on. Let's give them notice. And it's like, well, that kind of is, like, just normal legal procedure, maybe? I don't know. I don't know anything. Okay. But I like this. Opportunity to be heard. I think that's good. So we're going to type that in. Opportunity to be heard. I also misspell things all the time, so that's also a problem. I really like the word due process. Not word, but you know what I mean. The phrase. And I use this like big, this is Warped Helvetica. I don't know. I like it. I like it when it looks funky like that. Yeah, they have to do it in English and Spanish. 21 days, I think, is important. One of the articles mentioned that somebody was given 12 hours, which I think is interesting because it's like the same letters, the same numbers. Yeah, the court is likewise not resolving the question of whether the president may remove under that statute individuals who are members of a gang as opposed to individuals who have entered this country and are members of a foreign terrorist organization. So I think the next step would be designating the gang as a foreign terrorist organization if they're not already. I don't know. Foreign terrorist. I never participated in a spelling bee. Okay. I liked it better when it was smaller. Yeah. Because I like to do a highlight thing. Fun. Gang, gang. I like that. I think this is a good... I don't use a lot of imagery, but it's because I'm used to making them into paintings. So I'm used to not putting in a lot of imagery because I'd have to paint that. That takes forever. Have you ever tried painting pictures? It's hard. Oh, that's wrong. 12 hours. There we go. I also been using this Arial. Oops, sorry. Arial. I just think it's funny. It's similar to this is Owners and this is Helvetica, like warped and stuff. My cat scratched me, not on purpose. He was like, I don't know how to... It wasn't on purpose. He loves me so much. Because I kind of just like that as it is. But it also might be fun. I'm going to keep that. But let's just see what happens if we go like this. What happens if I do that? What happens then? I think I would make... Oh, sorry. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. For now, I'm a fool. You know that song? To do your dirty work. Oh yeah. I don't think those are spaced the way I would like them to be. But I don't like the color. Hello. See, like, isn't that just kind of funny? Like, as it is? I don't know. I find it kind of funny. I feel like it gives Microsoft Word when it's kind of like this. It's kind of funny. No? It's just me? Is it just me? I like that too. This case poses significant issues that are deeply interwoven with the constitutional principles upon which this nation's government is founded. I'm probably going to sound like a broken record, but I read this book last year. I didn't finish it, but it's called First Principles, and it is essentially about some of the founding fathers, not all of them. I mean, I honestly... Being a dumb American, like, I couldn't tell you who all the founding fathers are, but the book kind of follows, like, the education and, like, early thought processes of, like, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams, and I'm always going to forget the other guy. I don't think it's Monroe, but it could be. I think Monroe was a lot later. Go off, girls. She really popped off in that opinion. It's this book, First Principles, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. Like, I've never read a book like this, like, in this type of writing, but it was so easy for me to read and follow along with, and I think if what is going on is alarming to you, this is a really good, like, grounding book, I feel like, to reacquaint yourself or to educate yourself about what, at least the thought process was with how the government was created and why it was created the way it was and who the people were that created it, which I know might not sound like interesting or important. Maybe it is, but like they were so clear about thinking of all the possible problems. And that's what like a lot of people like are calling back. Like in this speech, he talks about how this emolument and whatever, the clause that says that you cannot accept gifts from foreign governments, like they thought about that because they knew that somebody like Donald Trump was going to come along, James Madison, there we go, that he was going to come along and want to accept all these gifts and he'd love the title and he'd love the power, and they put in clauses specifically to like mitigate the risk of someone like Trump taking power and trying to do everything that they can with it. And so it's just really interesting because they really did, you know, for all the flaws in the Constitution, it is such a guiding book. Not to sound like patriotic or whatever, but like they really did a good job. They were very smart men, I think, and it was a much different time, obviously. They would be... It's like, what would Andrew Tate think about them? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to be stupid for a minute, but days translated to Spanish. It's días, but I just don't know if there's like a little, like a little thing on top. See, there is. Okay, just wanted to check. Having it be in English and Spanish, huh? Would be interesting. Would be a little call to saying you have to say it in English and Spanish, right? I don't know. To be touching, and I want them to go the whole way. I like when they go off a little bit. It's like, ooh, what's over there? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's guess. Let's think about it. Let's fill in the gaps. I also like to use the rulers to do things like really spaced out. I don't like how this is looking. I don't like it. I don't like the way that looks. I wish it was a box. So I'm going to make it into a box. So, and then I'm just going to go through and do this. Go through and change the, the leading, the kerning, whatever. The spacing between the letters. Make them fit and look like a box. That's what I'm going to do after I do this. Now, the part that I'm really not good at is all the like fun filters and like blending modes and all the fun effects to make this like actually look cool. Like, I'm so not good at that. I'm not good at it, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to practice. I'm here to learn. I'm here to be better. Like, and then here I'll just change the space so that they fit in a little box. Wow. 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 If I were to group these and then center it, what happens? Oh. That happens. Okay, I like that. Line up right there. Line it up. That's cool. Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay, I think what I'm missing is like all the fun effects stuff. That's what I think we need now. I'm going to group those together and I'm going to cut it out so that it is like that. And then I'm not sure if I want to highlight. I don't know if I do. I kind of like that you can't see it. That's what I like about text, but then there's like color blindness and readability and whatever. I think we're going to make all of these this color. Yeah, see, I think that this needs to be emphasized as well. That makes it really hard to see. Oh, brother. Can't really read that at all, can you? No. I haven't used like a bright red though, but sticking to a very established color palette, I guess. That makes it easier to read, but not perfect. I don't want to do your dirty work. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I like that. I think I like it when it's just white. Okay, let's figure out how to make this look cool. One of the things... Where's that, like, Gaussian blur? I used to do that. What's this? Let's see. I also have a pack from, so let's try it on this. Let's see what that does. Yeah, see? It makes it look cool. It makes it look cool. Yeah. Double layered. Double cheeked up on a Tuesday. Sorry. That makes it look cool already. It already looks cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe we'll do the same with this one. Now let's just go buck wild. Let's just have fun. Let's just make it crazy. We're just gonna make everything blurry. Yep. Wow, so fun, so cool. Now this one we could play around with for sure. We could play around with this. We could really do something here. I have cats. This is Pumpkin. Guess why he's named Pumpkin? Huh? I'll give you 3 guesses. It's because he's orange. It's because he's an orange man. Oh, you're so orange, Pumpkin. He's not even a year old. Can you believe that? Your birthday is coming up, though, in June. That's so exciting. Huh? It's so exciting. Okay, so I think I can play around with the colors here. I wanna do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work. You have to behave if you come to work with Mommy, okay? He's not gonna behave. Because I don't like the colors. So that's what I want to change. Figure out. Because the White House has like a very clear look on their page. So I think it would be cool if this sort of mimicked that in some way. But the blur does not work as well with the yellow. And it's weird how the US like weaponizes the word terrorist. I mean, like we just call everybody a freaking terrorist. For what? Like why? Why is everyone a terrorist? I don't think they are. Maybe they are, but I'm not sure if it's everybody. I don't know why we think everybody's they're all out to get us. They're so evil. Oh, they're out to get us. Oh my gosh. They're going to come take your children. Take your women. Run and hide. They're coming for us. They're coming for you. They're coming for me. They're going to take everybody. Those colors. Pumpkin. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that, huh? I think I like that. I don't know. What do you think? It makes it easier to read. And in that case, I don't know if we need that. Up. 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 2, 3, 4. Pick it up. 2, 3, 4. I can't remember last time I watched The Jungle Book. Wow. Maybe I should watch that today. I think we're almost done. I'm not too, like, crazy about this, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. Because I also need the date. We're going to add filters. Okay, calm down. I'm saying that to myself. It's going to look better, okay? It's going to look better in a minute. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. I don't like that there. Okay, Pumpkin. You officially are banished again until later, okay? You're going to knock everything out. You're going to knock it all out, Pumpkin. But the 13th, we need to change the date. Ugh! There's so much longer left. We have so much time left. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I just would like a filter. So let's find a filter, shall we? Should probably like pin. I have a asset packs from Andre. I'm so sorry, Andre. Andre! I'm sorry! I don't remember. I know it's you just need to know the first name, right? Oh, I also think I'm calling this project Weevils in the Wheat. That's the name of the project. There's like a painting I want to do about it, but basically it's this book that I have. Actually, I have it here. This is the book. It's Interviews with Virginia Ex-Slaves. And it's from the Virginia Works Project, I believe. They did, interviews with, I think in the 60s, with people who were born either into slavery or descended from enslaved peoples, to be politically correct. The title, Weevils in the Wheat. The weevils, there are wheat weevils. They're a type of bug, insect that live in wheat and cause it to have lots of problems, blah, blah, blah. But the term weevils in the wheat was used to sort of identify snitches or spies within the midst of, you know, people gathering and talking about things. Or they would say, like, don't go there, be careful, there's weevils in the wheat. There's eyes, there's people watching. Like, be careful. I think there's many, like, just like this court ruling and everything, there's ways to interpret things, interpret words that people use. For me, I interpret that as, in the context of what's going on in the United States today, I think it could be applied to me it means betrayal. It's like people betraying you. That's what it means to me. Okay, wait a minute. That's kind of cool. Just makes the color so saturated, though. Bam, 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 bam. I used to use this brown one all the time. Pumpkin. He's one of the most needy ones that I have. But he's oh so cute. If I put this normal, I put it in the back, then I put the blue as multiply, that did nothing. Bubby, stop. You have to just sit still. You can't keep roaming around like a shark. You have to sit still, my love. Sit still. Sit still. Don't go on my desk, please. You could hit a button. That would be bad. That would be bad if you hit a button. Okay? Please calm down. Please just sit with me. Be all calm and cute. Oh, please. I will say he's not like an orange cat, like crazy orange cat. He's just like needy baby boy kind of thing. See? Now he sits. Now you sit. Huh? Now you sit. But I need you to behave. I don't know what I'm doing, though. That's the... I feel like an imposter. Maybe I am. Maybe I am an imposter. I just want something, like, nice and light. Like, just something, like, just very subtle. Just like, yeah, see, I like the paper ones. They're just, like, papery. You can ask for flowers. I sit for hours. The bluebirds. I saw the bluebird. Little baby. I'm so in love with you. Just don't like the colors. I just don't like the color. Why is it not the color? Okay, I'm going to find a texture that I like because this might take me forever, and I will show you the final design.